All right. Well, one of the big stories really here at the winter meetings, I would think, is David Price. What do you think is going to happen with Price and with the Rays, Peter?
I think eventually David gets traded, um, but I think it'll be a long, slow process. Andrew Friedman does not do rash things, and I think that they'll weigh every possible scenario, and see what happens. I mean, always thought that the Dodgers fit their needs the most with their really good young players. I think there are some people in the Dodgers organization that are afraid to trade away their best prospects, A, and B, have Clayton Kershaw and David Price needing to be signed simultaneously, which might be more than the gross national product of Bolivia, but that's another matter entirely. But I do think that it probably makes the most sense. It may be that they end up going into June or July because recent history has shown that you get more for a player when you trade him, a pitcher, when you trade him during the season than if you trade him in the offseason.
Do you think, just looking at it, it's hard to look right now, do you think the Rays once again will be in contention for a playoff spot?
Oh, I think so. I mean, they're so well run, they're so well managed, and they still have a core. I mean, when you can build around Evan Longoria, you're building around someone special, unique, whatever. But they'll always, to me, I mean, I have said this many times. The most amazing thing in baseball is the fact that the Rays have won 90 games 5 of the last 6 years on annually the lowest payroll of the league. So it makes me say they'll do it again one way or another.
Now, Joe Madden always says he loves it in Tampa Bay. He loves working with Andrew Friedman. But I always wonder down the road what it would be like for him to have a high payroll. Do you see Joe Madden down the road maybe taking an offer somewhere else?
I think the only way it would happen is if Dodger ownership, which has no bounds in money, decides, okay, if we're going to fire Don Mattingly, we're going to make Joe Madden the highest paid manager in baseball. I don't think it'll happen. I don't think he'll leave Tampa, but at the same time, I think that would be the one scenario where somebody could offer him so much money he couldn't resist. But, I mean, I think it's very clear that people like playing in Tampa. I mean, I asked in an interview this summer, I asked Evan Longoria about it, and he was very adamant about, hey, look, they've been great to me. I make as much money as I could possibly spend, and I really enjoyed it. My life in professional baseball has been in Tampa, and it really impressed me. I mean, that's Evan also, but it really impressed me that he's so loyal to the organization that they can't guarantee certain things, but they treat people very well.
And last, the stadium issue is there. They're last in attendance with such a good team. There's a new mayor now in St. Pete. Commissioner Seelig had said that he's eyeing it. Something has to be done. What do you think would be the solution for the Rays, Peter?
Well, probably the best solution would be to move to Connecticut, but I don't think that's going to happen because I think that the Yankees, Mets, Red Sox would somehow be able to kill it the way the A's have been blocked from going to San Jose. But I don't know the politics of St. Petersburg. I mean, maybe they could build a stadium, and maybe it's always been to me not very good business when you're on an island and you have to cross a bridge to get to the ballpark. But maybe anything would be an improvement over that ballpark right now.
Do you see the Rays staying in Tampa Bay? Because I don't think there's any other offers anywhere else outside of the.
They expanded so much there aren't many other markets. You can't go to Austin because the Rangers in Houston already have that area, so there's very little left. You can't go to New Jersey because the Mets, Yankees, and Phillies have blocked that. I don't think you can go to Connecticut. I mean, Montreal has been mentioned, but I find it hard to believe that the Rays are going to end up playing in Montreal.
We had a columnist, Tom Jones, on our show last night. He says, I think they're going to go to Brooklyn. Well, I would think the Yankees would have something to say about that, don't you think, Peter?
Yeah, and the Mets would too.